It was very, very good. It was wonderful. It's good to see your face again. How's the last few days been for you?
Yeah, good. I'm still got my boundaries really firmly set in place. So, you know, just with everyone who's joining, if you don't know why we're on live, we both did a digital detox with a couple of other people as well. And I didn't know what to really expect from it, because I never normally do that, put expectations out there. But I got so much more out of the course than what I anticipated.
Sorry, I'm just sorting that out. There you go.
Did you hear what I said?
I did. Absolutely. No,
Yeah.
I absolutely did. I think it was great. And I think we started off with a smaller team than anticipated, because a few people kind of pulled out at the last minute through unforeseen circumstances. But I think that the small team that we did, it worked very well. And it's always good to keep it into a really small team, because you don't want too many people kind of joining and stuff like that. I think to keep it small and concentrated is kind of like the way to do it, and it kind of worked very well.
Oh, it did. We all connected, and we've made, you know, as far as I said, really good friends as well, which was lovely. Lovely experience to have with all of you. So
yeah, and I think to set the intention to because we are going through a tough time as a collective at the moment, you know, and I think that to, you know, give ourselves the space to start 2022 with a clean sheet, as a lot of people intend to do. But I just think there's more to coming offline, and there's more to be achieved than just clicking off your app, like we're going to find out. So we have Billy and Fiona as well, who are going to join us in a moment. And just to see what happened, because I've run detoxes before, and it's still a very new thing that I'm working through. And I thought that as you are have got the platform that you've got and do the work that you do, I wanted to see what you would get out of it. You know?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, with Men Against Mountains, I spend a lot more time online with Men Against Mountains as I do with my personal accounts on Facebook and on Instagram. But I always said that Men Against Mountains always fires my belly, and I don't necessarily see a lot of negativity, and I don't think I'm absorbing that through that page. But this is about my personal Instagram accounts, and it's me as Mel, not anything to do with Men Against Mountains side of it, but me, how I use social media, the time, you know, just how I've formed really bad habits, I think, and wasn't really aware that I'd formed these bad habits. I thought I was pretty good, actually, not always clicking online and scrolling, but actually, after doing the detox,
you notice it, don't you?
Yeah, you do notice a lot, you know. And I went into town today because had to get a new phone, because I said I was literally had to cancel Sunday's live because I was on like 20%. My charger broke, and so I was due to have a new phone. And actually doing my new phone today, I was sitting there thinking, like what we spoke about yesterday, do I really want this? Do I really want this brand new phone? And yeah, and I really noticed walking through town today, which I have done in the past, and people when they go past in their cars, people on their phones driving while they're shopping. Why can't we give ourselves that space when we go out into town or we do our things every day? Why do we need to be on our phones as well?
Absolutely, Mel. And I think I was with a colleague friend of mine, Daphne, just before Christmas, and we'd met up. She does part of the TGF show with me. And we heard this, we was, walking along, we heard this massive crash in Muswell Hill. I mean, it was bad. And a bus had hit a bus, right. It hit a light. And, kids were running and screaming, and everyone was all in uproar. And you just see people standing there getting their phones out. And I just went, I didn't go apeshit. I just thought, what the fuck are you lot doing? I was already in there kind of helping out. But I just thought, it's a bit kind of just shocks me, you know, that this is the kind of culture we're living in. Everyone just wants to catch everything on film. And I'm just wanted to say that I'm not against social media, so please don't think I am. I'm not. Sorry. I'm not against social media. But it's like, I'm old enough to know the change and the split that's happened within the last 20 years. And there are good things about it, for sure. But there's a lot of programming. It's so obvious. And it's becoming more obvious. And for me, I know that there's a spiritual activation to be happened if you take yourself offline. I know there's empowerment to be had. I know that there's clarity, there's direction, there's an ease on your mental health if you come off of it. And if you set the intention, and as Nikola Tesla says, if you want to know the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, vibration, and what was it, energy, vibration, and whatever he says. My mind's gone blank. But it's like we set the intention to come off as a group and to activate certain things. And it's going to be very interesting hearing what the others have got to say with regards to what happened throughout the week.
Yeah.
Because it was beautiful, wasn't it?
It's like the Ripley's tail.
Hello, Ripley. Oh, listen, guys, Ripley's a new dad. I think
new
babies. Yeah.
Get you on for a minute. Who's daddy?
Oh, bless him. Bless him. How old is he now?
How old is he now? He's just over 1, so he's like, about 13 months old.
Early.
I know. First time loses his virginity and has a litter of little sphinxes.
Absolutely. By the way, thank you, Billy. He said frequency. That was true.
Yeah.
Shall we get Fiona on?
Yeah.
Let's set milk. How do I send on
right,
here? Can you send her a request, or Fiona send us a request?
Yeah, I can do. I can do. That's it. I've invited.
Pod photo, yeah.
Why isn't it doing it? It's because I've got a new phone. Oh, there she is. She's already on. There we go. Hi.
How you doing?
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
How are you, both?
I feel fresh, man. One of the things I wanted to do on the course was to lose a bit of weight, but I've kind of gained it because I've just been training like a rhino in the gym. I'm just like,
so in your arms.
Yeah, no, it's good.
Yeah. Mine are getting bigger. I'm getting really big.
Do you? Oh, you look great, though. It's all good. It's all good. Sophie, welcome. So, the big question, by clicking off, did you switch on?
Yes. I did. I did. And I think, like Mel said, I didn't realise that I kind of was on social media as much as I was. Because I actually thought I didn't really go on it that much. But it was only when I really switched off and put it down, I realised how much extra time that I had and how much just mindless scrolling that I was doing. And just like I was saying before, like in the group, that it would just be like, you know, watching like one video would pop up of just like random shit. And then it would like just go on to the next one and go on to the next one, go on to the next one. And then I'd look at the clock and it'll be like 1 o'clock in the morning. It's just like, shit, where did that time go? So I like pull that time back to actually, you know, look at myself and do this group. Yeah, no, absolutely. It's been interesting. So what we kind of did, guys, without giving all the magical secrets away, was we have set tasks for every day. Every day has a theme, and you know the guys get contacted through the powers that be. Every day, and there is a video and there's a little bit of info and there's some daily tasks that we do, and not going to go through all the days, but day 1 was mindset. And so one of the things that came up was to look at our mindset with regards to the rest of the course, and to really kind of think about, you know, what you wanted to get out of the course. And so, you know, you did that. And what kind of happened on day 1 and day 2? What kind of happened for you? Do you know what? It just, everything pretty much shifted straight away for me. And I think for me, this this course kind of like came at the perfect time, like the beginning of the year, and there was things that I'd been meaning to do that I'd been putting off for so long through a variety of reasons, like just excuses or fear or whatever. And yeah, so it was a really good kickstart to the year. And in the first couple of days, I kind of like, I got £100 from a photography competition that I did, which I didn't think that I would get, which was amazing. And then things kind of started happening after then. It's just like I had the motivation and the kind of courage to apply for more jobs. So I did that. I put myself on a photography course, which I've been meaning to do for effing ages. And yeah, just like loads of stuff. And I had a conversation with my current boss, and didn't mention anything about wanting to leave or anything. She just randomly said at the end of our conversation, "Oh, by the way, I'm putting a process through for a job raise and money raise for you." And I was just like, "What?" And it was just like mad how everything kind of like happened.
Yeah,
like,
and I think
out to the universe, and it all came back. So it definitely worked for me.
I think, yeah, because one of the things, yeah, absolutely. I think one of the things is about conscious manifestation, and because of the, you know, manifestation's quick. If you align, bang, you know. And it's interesting because I got £100 in cash through a rebate of sorts on the same day Fiona did.
Yeah.
And you know, I know I've spoken to Fiona, and she did say, you know, for a long time, I've got to fix up. I'm not enjoying the work. I need to be doing something else. I need to be following my passion. And she's talented. So guys, anyone who wants, I'm going to just plug you. Anyone who wants to look at photography, she's incredible, pod photography. So check her out. But it was just lovely to see, because I know, you know, you're like me. You can have really flip-floppy energy and it'd be a bit kind of like this. And you was just like, got your head down, and you was like, right, bang. And it, you know, things started to shift. And what's interesting is I remember having a conversation with you months and months and months. It was probably even about, well, more than one occasion, but quite a while back. And one of the things that come up was that you didn't feel valued at work. And you was like, I'm not being paid my worth. And because I feel, you know, what part of the intention of this course is to lift your frequency, is to change your frequency. And so when you look at, you know, certain things like mindset, and you work out where you want to go, and you work out a little direction, and you have this an energetic lift as well, in a sense, she came straight up to you and was like, I want to give you a raise. And it's interesting how it happened then and there. And that, I believe that was because you flipped what you was on about. You know, you let go of certain emotions, and you went full in. And what's interesting is I know Mel had breakthroughs as well, and I had breakthroughs. And one of the things that Mel, if I can say Mel mentioned in one of the courses, that she, there's lots of things, I'll let Mel tell you about her experience. One of the things that made me laugh was she got a call about day 6, and she was like, I've just got £400 in my account. And I was like, so have I. I've got £400 sitting in my account from I've been trying to get these tickets back for 3 years, and I've been it's been a nightmare. And on the same day, I've got 400. I'm like, it's great.
It's quite spooky, wasn't it?
It was amazing. And then Billy, you know, I let Billy, when Billy comes on, I let Billy talk about his experience. But you know, the breakthroughs he had as well. It just was such a beautiful start to 2022, and you know, it just goes to show what can happen in such a short space of time if you let go of social media. And I know people out there might think, you know, okay, so it might not, you know, you can do these activations, you can work through these things, you can manifest and create while you're on social media. You absolutely can, but there is a level of awareness and work that's given, and there's the shifts that are created that can only happen if you come offline intentionally. So Mel, over to you.
Yeah, I think because I've been doing so much inner work over the last couple of years, especially with lockdown. I stripped my life right back to the simplicity, and I talk about that a lot on the Men Against Mountains page. I'm always a lot happier when I strip things back. But what I was finding, I was just on my personal accounts, I was getting agitated by things I was seeing, arguments to vaccinations. We've spoken a lot about this. And, you know, I felt like I was absorbing so much negativity and losing my instincts and my, you know, I don't normally get too pissed off about a lot of stuff.
Right.
But I was finding recently, over the, you know, I suppose through lockdown, we all spent a little bit more time online. And I think that became everyone's bad habit. And I think a lot of people haven't lost that necessity of always having their phone in their hand walking around. I mean, I now leave mine in the kitchen, which I was doing a little bit before the course. But it wasn't just the social media side of it. It was the television. I can have my television on in the evening and sit on my phone. So I'm watching TV and I'm on my phone at the fucking same time. Now,
it's mad, isn't it?
So 10 days where we came off, we deleted all our apps. There was no TV. There was no WhatsApp. There was no... You know, the only thing app I did keep on my phone was Spotify, because I listen to a lot of music. So that's the only thing.
Can I just say really quickly, by the way, guys, I just wanted to say that if you do want to go, I mean, this is an immersive, so you go as far as you wanted to go, and hats off to you, Mel, because, you know, you could go, it's about cutting down TV. You can literally come right off of it and, you know, read a book, set your intention, decorate that room, do it, whatever goals you've got to do. And you was leaving your phone at home the whole day, you know, and you really went for it. And I was like, oh my God, like, it was incredible. Sorry, I had to put that there.
No, I was ready for it. As I said on the post I did the other day, I'd already put some certain things in place. I was already setting boundaries, but this course was the icing on the cake. It gave me those nudges that I was sort of starting to go back into my bad habits a little bit, and it was that extra push I needed to almost know that what I was doing was I was on the right path, if that made sense in the first place. So felt like I was losing my instincts, my authenticity, with a lot of things, you know. Even through the men's page, I was thinking, oh look, you know, not feeling as good as maybe, you know, I put a lot of work into Men Against Mountains, but I was starting to doubt myself and it's silly. But coming offline and not having that input from other people and what everyone else was doing, I sort of got myself right back again. And now I know I'm exactly doing what I should be doing with my stripping my life back. I've decluttered my wardrobe. I've got rid of just loads of it. I've cleaned out my cupboards. But these things were part of me letting certain things go. But also about not letting things affect me that would normally affect me. And I learned that again through the course. So without, you know, me and Fee, we didn't know what to expect. We were just going from day. We had that. The good thing about the course was that we had a focus every day, where I think people lose that focus because they're online so much, or as I said, watching TV. And I think we lose that, you know.
We do. And I think part of being online is one of the days we looked at vision and perception. Yeah. And a lot, I mean, it's just so evident if you look around you, people are on autopilot. I'm not saying everybody, you know, and they're absorbing other people's opinions and, oh, let's hate this person because everyone else does. Oh, let's just do this because let's follow the crowd. And it's like, this is just my personal opinion, if you are following the crowd, then, you know, you need to step back and look at is the crowd really worth following? But you can only ask these quality questions with yourself if you come off of it and step away from it. And then you'll actually shift your focus, you'll listen to your inner voice more, and you give attention to that. Yeah. And what I mean, you know, what happened was what I saw was beautiful, and it was. I felt you know, we spoke, Mel, you know, and I thought you was really ready for it, and I just can't believe, like, you smashed it, like, you literally, and you, Fiona, and Billy, you know, we all just went for it, and because we were in that concentrated group, intentionally manifesting every day, shit happened, you know, we let go of stuff, we learned stuff, we tried stuff. And, you know, shit got crazy. Shit got real. And it was just beautiful, you know?
Yeah, I think that what I knew before, like, I know that, you know, things like, well, if we can go on to how it affected me, how my physical being, like, everything de-stressed, my shoulders felt like I've had an achy neck for weeks and weeks. I've even been to the doctors about it because of my vertigo and all this shit that was going on. But since that detox, I haven't had that feeling.
Right.
I haven't had this weird sensation in my ears and stuff like that. This has been going on since last summer. So
yeah.
I don't know whether maybe it might have been stress, maybe, I don't know, whether my whole being is a bit more relaxed. To anyone that knows me or Men Against Mountains, I suffer with insomnia, and probably 3 out of 4 nights a week, I don't really sleep much.
Right.
And the rest of the week, I'm on major catch-up. And I do sleep because I'm so fucking knackered from not sleeping for 3-4 nights. Well, I'm on my how long have we been back on? 2 days? 3 days? Well, for 10 nights, I have slept solidly. I've been to bed at 10 o'clock and I'm going to sleep straight away, and I haven't had insomnia for 10 nights in a row. Which is weird, which to me, I knew I had to switch my phone off an hour before bed. I know all that shit, but it just proved that I think our minds are active, whether we're on our phones or not, throughout that whole day. When we've been on our phones, our minds are still whirling around. And whether we're on that phone an hour before and we switch everything off an hour before, it doesn't really make a lot of difference. It's what the whole day has been, or the week, or the month. And I do find that I don't sleep very well, and I've just slept so brilliantly, and so I'm keeping up with exactly what I was doing through the detox. Okay, I'm online, I'm doing Men Against Mountains, but then I'm switching it off, and my phone goes in another room, and I'm certainly not been watching television with my phone in my hand. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not going to go into town and be looking at my phone while I'm doing my shopping. I'm not going to be going to dinner and looking at my phone while I'm eating my dinner. I'm not doing all those little extra bits where we look at our phone need to be erased.
Absolutely.
You know, go online by all means, but just use it as give yourself like
use the medium. Don't let it use you. I think that's one of the key things here.
Instagram or Facebook, it controls you. Turn it around, and bring back, your control of how you want to use your social media and your screen time.
Absolutely. I've decided that, when my phone's due for an upgrade, I'm going back to Nokia brick, mate. Do you know what I mean? I do.
Yeah, we've done that.
Samsung's legal things, and they're like, we're just going to take absolutely everything and watch everything and store everything you've ever done. And it's like, haven't got anything to hide, but it's the principle. This is bullshit.
Yeah.
And I'm not having it. So I'm coming off. And again, it for me personally, it has helped my productivity. And I didn't miss it. I didn't miss it. And I know some people have, and that's cool. But for me, I mean, I love coming online and saying hi to everyone, but then I like to just disappear again.
Yeah.
And I think that for the time we had to start the new year intentionally, like that, gave the energetic push and raised the bar for the rest of the year. And I think doing these, if we can kind of look at children and how they are in schools and look at the amount of programming and the amount of pressure that they're under, no wonder that their nerves are snapping. And I think, you know, get rid of the apps, get rid of the TV, get uncomfortable being comfortable, get comfortable being uncomfortable, and start looking at these things. But things will shift. So it's raising awareness, isn't it? That this does work. So yeah, Fiona. So what has happened with you since the last few days since you finished the detox, with regards to kind of going back online? Have you gone back online? What's been happening?
I've gone on it a little bit, but I haven't been doing the old habits of scrolling and stuff. And I'm not a massive social media person anyway, but I'm definitely gonna, I went on it to sell something on Marketplace. That's why I went on it, because I needed to get rid of some stuff that I'd cleared. But you know, I wasn't tempted to just spend all that time again, just like looking at crap. And like Mel, I'm not gonna go back to it. I can definitely do without it. It doesn't serve me at all. Like, right. So I'm gonna definitely continue to kind of like practice the things that I've learned and developed on the course, for sure, because it's worked for me. And I'm gonna continue kind of like I won't go too much into the tasks and stuff, but continue to practice some of the tasks on a daily basis, especially like things like gratitude and affirmations and stuff, because, you know, that's going to keep me focused, and that's what's given me the kind of the oomph and the self-confidence to kind of, you know, get everything started. And I know with like a lot of things, if you let all those things go, do you know what I mean? You're just going to slip back into your old ways. So I'm definitely going to put everything into practice.
And I think, no, that's brilliant. And I think that being online, you know, or just being consumed by media in general, in whatever form, there's so much, whether it's the newspaper and their biased opinions on their version of reality, or the TV or the news, you know, there's such, I mean, it's just evident when you step away from it, you kind of can see things from a different perspective. And it is all perspective at the end of the day. It's all energy. But it's like, sometimes if you're wrapped up in that, you won't know there's a problem. And so it's just a little self-check-in, like a little reminder. And I think when we go online, we can feel anxious. It can trigger us. We can feel not worthy, not good enough, comparing ourselves to other people. And our self-talk, and I'm a right one for negative self-talk at times, I still do. But I catch myself now and I replace it. And I think just to, again, this might not be for everyone, and that's cool, but, you know, just to check in with yourself and say these things that you want to achieve, reminding yourself why you're here, what things do you like about yourself, what are your affirmations, why are you feeling these emotions, and saying them with compassion and empathy for yourself. It lifts the frequency, it changes the vibration, right? And from that, magic happens. You know, and we're so used to going, oh, I shouldn't wear that. Oh, don't I look fat? Don't I look like shit? And I do it. But it's nice to just shift that up. And obviously, if you pay attention in a different area, guess what? Bang, things are going to shift. And that was evident every day. It was evident. And it's just little things. And I'm not going to sit, I mean, there's so much more you can go into. And I know other coaches who really go down the spiritual tip, and that's amazing. And I can put people in touch with these people. But for me, it's just dipping your toe into a lot of these things that they don't teach you in school.
Yeah.
You know, they don't teach water consciousness in school. You know, they don't teach why it's important for, you know, but one of the things, sorry, I wanted to say was some of these tasks, people might go, well, what has this got to do with coming offline? But when we use being online as a crux or a distraction, whether it's sex, being online, whatever it is, food, alcohol, you know, let me be a sinner, I've done it all. but I've learned, and I'm going through the processes as well, you then can look at these things and not think, when you go on, you're not using it as a distraction. Yeah, so you're using it consciously rather than unconsciously. And I think that's one of the big takeaways here, that looking at forgiveness or a Ho'oponopono technique, you know, what would that do? What does that do? And it's like, this allows you to free up yourself so you can move through certain other things within your life. But if you're if you're constantly online and you're surfing and you're distracted, you're not giving yourself what you need. And you're not looking at these things. And guess what? You change your frequency, bang, it happens quickly. You didn't have to wait. There wasn't a wait. I don't feel, for me, you know, I don't know about you girls, but I didn't feel there was a wait or a delay. For me, it just was...
Yeah, it was quite instant. I think it took me a couple of days, you know, like I said to you guys, when my kids used to go to their dads, it used to take me a couple of days to unwind from being mum into Mel mode. And it did take me a couple of days to get that authentic side of Mel back and to unwind from it. But I don't think a lot of people actually allow themselves to sit in absolute silence. And I would totally, you know, recommend that everybody, I know we're scared of our thoughts sometimes, and that can be a scary place, but like what you said about getting comfortable with the uncomfortable, you have to go through that process, and it's such a healing process. And I've always been a little bit spiritual, but I didn't realize, even sometimes when I said, shit, I am sitting in absolute silence, and I got so much out of that. I've always done it, but I was doing it for hours on end. And I was writing and I was reading, and there was, as you said, there was not one distraction.
No. And it felt good, right?
Last couple of my friends tried to email me because they knew that was the only way they could contact me, was if they could email me.
I remember you saying when you started, some of your online friends were going, are you feeling all right? Is there a problem? No, it's not about being a problem. It's just, you know, giving yourself what you need to fill your cup, to then be able to kind of help and fill other people's cups up. And it is simple. You've got to want to do it. Yeah. And there is work to do. And I'm not going to hold a gun to your head and say, listen, you have to answer these questions. But the more you go into it, the more you get out of it. And we all were at different places, but we came into this grid together with the sole intention that we wanted to create change. Yeah. And that was inevitable. And to have an over £1,000 manifest out of nowhere was great. The synchronicities that happened were pretty something, weren't they? Yeah. So yeah. But shall we bring Billy on as well? Just wanted to bring.
If I can get Billy on. It says only 3 guests. I thought.
Oh, Fee, hang on. Is there anything else, Fee, you wanted to share with us? Because I'm so bloody proud of you.
Yeah, am I.
I know how long you was, if I can say, like, you was toying with getting back into certain things that you were doing, and you've been saying it for 3 years, 4 years, 10 years, and a week. Bang. So, congratulations to you. Honestly, beautiful.
I really enjoyed it. And like Mel said, I made some good friends, and the digital detox social media bit is just, you know, the tip of the iceberg, because we covered so much more that I wouldn't have thought that we would have covered, and especially and so that was really surprised to me, but it was really, really good. Like, there were things that, for me personally, I definitely needed to look at. And, it was stuff that just, you know, just to build your self-confidence and stuff. And I think, like, if anyone is thinking about doing it, and, like, I work full-time, and if people are thinking, oh, I haven't got time to do it or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think if you've got time to scroll, you've got time to do this.
It's done in a way that you can fit it into your daily life. So, do you know what I mean? It makes it manageable. So, yeah, it was really good. So, yeah, thank you, Carl. Yeah.
Oh, you're so welcome. And I think that's another Go on.
So I was going to say that I saw how you sort of blossomed through the week. Yeah, and I don't know whether you were aware of it, but your confidence grew. You know, and I don't even know you. I only met you literally the first day of the course, and I could see you flourishing through the week.
Yeah,
in your messages, and how your voice changed on your voice notes as well.
Oh,
you were just, yeah. I don't know whether you maybe realised that, but it was so lovely to see.
Fiona doesn't do voice notes.
No,
she doesn't like doing voice notes. She doesn't do. This is. Can I say this? Your first live?
Yeah, that's what I mean. The whole thing.
But she shifted herself.
Yeah, I have challenged myself, because I'm like, I'm kind of naturally quite a shy person, and I never do live things like this or anything. And like Carl said, I don't even really do voice notes. I'm a proper like just texter usually. But yeah,
and I think you did more voice notes than any of us, which is brilliant.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
I know.
So,
it's a bit like OTT.
Yeah,
but no, but that shows that it worked. So yeah, I'm really grateful. I'm really grateful, and it was really good for me.
It's brilliant, Fiona. I just think if you've got shit to do, you know, just come off, and you can then start to look at these things. So it is all linked back to tech.
Yeah.
You know, we're not saying tech. It's not that it's not tech is the enemy. It's how it's used and how it's been manipulated, and how it is being manipulated. So yeah, no, beautiful. I'm just so glad that you've got off the starting blocks again, and you're going forward with all that you want to do. And you know, our chat last night was beautiful, and I can see it. I can see a shift in your energy, and it's just great that you've got that clarity and, you know, that drive now. So, you know, 2022 will open up for you, because you've now set that soul intention. You've got rid of the shit just long enough to kind of align yourself, and there you go. That's what it's all about, you know. So well done, you babe. Thank you so much for being here. It's been amazing.
Thanks, guys.
You're welcome. So, how do we... Mel, I'll let you do it. I haven't got a clue. You bring in...
If you look on the top right, there should be a little X maybe, and then you just click off the top.
That's Fiona. We'll get Billy in.
Yeah, because I can't get Billy on until Fiona switches off. So you should top right. That's it.
There we go.
Love you lots. And see you soon.
Bye.
Bye, darling. So that's okay. So... let me just add Billy. Where are you there?
Billy Big Potatoes.
Yeah, I know. It's just I don't know whether it's my new phone. It's just weird. Hopefully that's done it. Or maybe Billy could request to join.
Okay, Billy, you request to join, and then Mel can bring you in.
There's loads of people on anyway.
Hello, everybody. I can't see who's in and who's
I know.
not, so I probably prefer that, actually.
Don't know why.
Billy, if you can send... Where is he? Let's see. If he can send a request...
Billy.
Where?
I hate that.
You can't... You what, sorry?
It won't let me. See if you can invite him. Can you invite him?
Let me just find him.
Because for some reason my buttons aren't pressing. Maybe it's because I'm on the phone.
Let me just have a look.
I don't know whether Fiona's logged out. Oh, look, what's that? Okay, it keeps saying you only allowed 3 people. Fee, have you logged out properly?
Oh, maybe Finn's... Oh, there she is.
Right, there you go. Right.
There you go. So, Billy, send it again.
I've accepted it. So go live. There you go.
Great. Great.
My leg's gone to sleep. So
That's
hopefully.
it. Oh, there he is.
There he is.
Okay. Ta-da!
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
How are you?
I'm good. I'm amazing. I'm all the better for starting the new year with you guys. So yeah. So Billy, I'll ask you the same question. By kicking off, did you switch on? Is that a legal question?
Yeah, no, 100%. I did, and like more than I thought I would as well. I was a bit like the others. I kind of went into it not knowing what to expect, but kind of knowing I did spend too much time online and it was becoming a distraction.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, switched on.
Amazing. I think what one of the things I saw with you was, because we chatted a few months before as well, a few weeks, you know, we was in contact before, and it was a case of, because, you know, you said you've got some changes coming up with your work in February, and you was like, I just don't know what I want to do. And I was like, this is the best time to kind of think about that. And it got closer to the day and you were still like, not sure what's going on. Don't know. And then you just brainstormed it. And I think we all activate and shift things at different times. And I knew that Fiona went bang, day one, day two, she was flying. And you took a little bit longer to kind of get into the swing of things, which is fine, because it did me as well. But you know, what I found interesting with you was that you actually, I mean, you can say, you went into this wanting certain things, and actually when sitting with it, you realised you actually wanted something else. So the floor is yours to say what happened.
Yeah, so a few days into the week, so I kind of I done myself like a to-do list really of like things I would do by sort of saving time by not being online. There's, you know, like jobs I can get done, I can start job hunting, do stuff around the flat. Yeah, and then a few days in, I just had a bit of a breakthrough. I think it was the day when we was doing affirmations. Yeah, and I was really having to think about what I wanted to do. You know, like done the inner work and things like that. And then, yeah, it's just, yeah, just had a complete breakthrough. And I thought what I actually wanted was kind of better like mental well-being, a bit like mental clarity. And then I thought once those, I've sort of like cracked those things, everything else I want to do will just get into place. You know, like I wouldn't like procrastinate as much. I'd be more proactive, more like enthusiastic and things like that. Mm-hmm. You know, and especially not having the distraction of like social media. Mm-hmm. So yeah, and then once I had that breakthrough, I was just like manifesting straight away. Like I set the intentions out there. I knew what I wanted to do for work. And things like that, and then yeah, things were just like falling at my feet. Like I was speaking to a friend and they're like, oh, I know someone who can help with this course, I know someone who can help with a job. Yeah, I like put my CV online and I was just like getting inundated with stuff, and it's all stuff I kind of wanted to do.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I think what was interesting was we spoke and said, I might do this for work, I think I can do that, and then you kind of done this and you was like, actually, I want to do this. And you just was like so beaming because you kind of discovered this other part of yourself and realised that this was something you'd thought about before, but then kind of gave yourself the chance to go back to. And obviously coming offline, you've allowed yourself the space to kind of think about this. And again, because you gave yourself the time free from distraction to just sit and just to be, you know, you worked out that what you thought you wanted from this was actually you realized you wanted something else. And as soon as you had that realization, bang, things started moving.
Yeah, and it was instant as well. It weren't even like took a couple of days, it was like literally hours, and then yeah things started manifesting and moving along.
And so where are you with regards to Billy? So you've been offline for a few weeks now. You know, you came back. I know you said you came back on. Was it today or yesterday?
Today. So I've literally come back on for this.
Okay,
brilliant.
How are you feeling? What are you moving forward to? What's next for you?
So I've had a job interview today. I've got one tomorrow. Yeah, got loads of stuff lined up. I've been looking at courses to like retrain and do like the work I actually want to do.
Yeah.
So I think what I've got now is like I've actually got direction and a goal and somewhere to get. I know where I want to get to and how to get there as well. Like there's a pathway. So
yeah,
although I've not come out with like the 10 days exactly where I want to be, I know how to get there.
Yeah, there's a start, isn't it? It's a stepping stone to success, you know. And I think it's nice to see. And again, it's just been really good to be in this space with people who have wanted to get out of their own way, you know, was just fed up with the some of the things that being online has, and not just being online, sorry, some of the things around us that we're absorbing. And it's nice to just kind of like step away from that. And when you do, kind of manifestations are kind of quick. And yeah, it's just been an interesting experience all round. So well done to you. You know, what was your favourite day? Did you have a favourite kind of day? What was your what are you going to take away from it?
Do you know what? I'm going to take away like a bit more self-awareness, but in a good way. So I think the task that probably my favourite was the levels of consciousness.
Right.
Because I kind of looked at that table and straight away, and I thought, oh yeah, I'll be near the top. I'll be near the top. And it's not till you actually like look and then you break it down. You think, oh, actually, I do kind of operate from a place of fear sometimes, and there can be, definitely like not completely negative. There's definitely like aspects of like the lower levels of consciousness that I know. I now know that I like operate from. So it's now just like being aware of it, so I can work on it,
right,
and improving it. So yeah, I think that's the one I think about the most, and forgiveness as well.
Yes,
I really like that
one. That's always been a popular one. Forgiveness. People kind of say, "Oh, what's forgiveness got to do with digital detoxing?" And that's a big one. That's a personal favourite of mine. Just because I think everyone's I'm only joking. Give yourself, so I have these judgments. There you go. No. That has been a popular one, and that's one of my favourites. As well as I like looking at values and beliefs, and I like looking at values and beliefs because I get scared when I'm trying to explain values and beliefs. So when I was doing the video, when I was showing up for you guys talking about it, I was like, do I really know this stuff? But, you know, it's part of what I've done. And it's just, you know, when you come off, you can kind of look at your values and beliefs and your visions and your perceptions and just see if they're marrying up and see if where they were before and are they aligned now? And are we making choices out of fear? Are we making choices out of wanting to save face because we've been told to, because we're scared? And we need to look at the energetics, because if you are, okay, there's no right or wrong about it. But again, it's awareness. What can you kind of install, is that a word, to kind of start to look at this? So that's interesting. That's a game changer for me. But values and beliefs is very, very popular. And there was water consciousness. And I remember you saying you got a lot out of the water consciousness as well.
I did, yeah, especially learning about sort of like all the crap in water as well. I mean, I knew like tap water was no good, but like bottled water was actually quite. Because I started buying bottled water thinking it was like a better option, but it's almost just as bad as the stuff that comes out of the tap. But yeah, the whole Dr. Amato thing, was really good.
It's interesting. It's a good concept, isn't it? I think it's all about perceptions, and we take different things at different times. But yeah, it's just that's a game changer for me as well. And starting to distill water throughout the 10 days definitely has lifted me up, because I go through phases of not getting the right amount of water and the right intake. So that was good. So no, thank you so much for being on it, you know. And
thank you.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely welcome. There was something else I wanted to ask you, but I can't remember what it was. Mel, over to you. I was going to shove it over. Oh, my mind's gone blank.
I just think all of us just seem a lot more relaxed. No, from that first video like chat we had before we actually started the detox, and was it the night before, 2 days before we did a video call, didn't we?
Yeah.
Before we deleted everything. And I just think we all seem a lot more like chilled, relaxed, and just at ease with what, as you said, like what we want, you know. As to me, as I said, it was the icing on the cake. I didn't want anything to ruin. I could feel something niggling at me, if that makes sense. And I didn't want anything to, just before Christmas, I got this wilt in a piece and I was thinking, I don't want anything to ruin this moment that I'm having. But that moment has stayed, and that's you know, so important. But I think we're just all just completely, I don't know, glowing.
I think, well, listen, you guys are glowing 100%. I can see that. But I remember one of the things before we started, Mel, what I recall you saying was that you felt like you were shifting already, and you started to feel a lot of peace within yourself. And you know, before Christmas, you were feeling these changes, and one of the things you wanted to get out of the course was to facilitate that, to have longevity with it.
Yeah, definitely, and it definitely has.
Yeah,
it's such a brilliant experience. But what I want to say to you, Carl, is that with the values and beliefs things, you know, I've seen how you were doubting yourself, actually, how good the course is, if that makes sense. And I think Billy will agree with me. We have got so much out of it. And, you know, even after, you know, you were worried about how we all felt about it. And that's lovely. But it's, honestly, you should have your head held high. You put so much work into it. You know, it's really structured. It was really you know, you put it all together so wonderfully. So you know, I really do think you need to have, you know, get that chin up, mate. Chest out.
God bless you. No, thank you so much. I think people think if you're, because one of the things I hated for years, I didn't like to show up. No. And I'd send posts and I'd talk to people in private, but I didn't want to do, as people who know me, I didn't ever want to do lives. But I know that moving forward is something I'm going to have to do. And I don't, you know, I'm equal to everybody. And that's why I don't want to be ever called a teacher, because I'm not. I'm a sharer of information. And it's not a program, it's an experience. Yeah. So it's about the wording. And for me, I just wanted it for it to feel right, and for people to feel out of it as well. And you do have these moments, and every coach does, every mentor does, everybody does have those moments of self-doubt, or do I know enough, or can, you know, I explain this? And I just think that there's a gap in the market for people who need to kind of take time off. And if I can help facilitate that, then great, because we're needing to connect with ourselves more than ever now. And if that's helped you guys, you know, do that, then that's brilliant. Job done for me. And what a beautiful start, you know.
But it's allowing yourself to give yourself that time. I was speaking to a lovely lady through Men Against Mountains earlier, and it was about, you know, we're both mums, both single mums, and it's actually allowing to give yourself this time. It's so important. It's so deserved. And there's no harm in trying to lessen your on-screen time. Right. You know, as you said, why would anybody want to be walking through or going anywhere with their heads down? Look up, look around. Everyone's missing so much. When you can do all you need to do on your line or on your you know, I run the men's mental health page. I'm going on so much less, but I'm getting more out of it when I do. Does that make sense?
Focus, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm consolidating the time I have and giving it that time, but I'm also setting a boundary for myself to know that I can switch off then and not worry that when I go back on the next day, you know, and then I can answer any questions and messages that I haven't got to answer, not feel guilty about it, because I was feeling guilty about it. I thought answering everything every time someone says something straight away. I don't have to do that. I'm setting good boundaries. And I think that's important for myself, you know, and for my own self-worth and time at the end of the day.
Absolutely. You're completely right. And it's about being okay with giving yourself, because it's just an extension of self-care, you know, and we you know, we can, there's nothing wrong, you know, it's you know, having a hot salt bath or a meditation, and doing all those kind of things. But this is just the next level of self-care that you can give yourself. And, you know, I've trialed this with young people as well. And they're activated. I mean, they went from not communicating to, it's just insane, Mel. It really was. And the mother was like, "Oh my God, what have you done to my kids?" And she said, "I can't take these through the airport like this. They're crazy." And you know that the shift happened. You know, by drinking, you know, oxygenating their water, drinking their water. You know, they completely flipped within a couple of days, and they went from having no spatial awareness to communicating. And the little ones started piping up and talking, you know. So if you shift, whatever capacity, if you shift, things are going to change, right? But it was just, it's just been, you know, lovely to see. And there was something else I was going to say. Oh, that was it. So I sent something out to you guys about, the mothers who are online spend 25% less time with their kids, or 20% or 75% less time with their kids if they're on social media. This is like crazy when you think about it. So it's just these little things to kind of think about and know that when you go back on, you know, you might be missed, or most people might not even notice you've gone, but you know, you do show up differently, and you don't need to be on there all the time. And it's quality, not quantity.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know?
Do you know what I want to say as well? This was weird because a year ago today, I posted a post, right, and it had a Bruce Lee quote. And this is what it said. It said, "Absorb what is useful, reject what is useless, add what is essentially your own."
Yeah.
And I posted that years ago today. And it came up on my archive, on my stories. So I posted it onto my stories, onto the post. And it was just like, really, that was another thing. I thought, how spooky is that? Because it was about switching off and not, you know.
Mm-hmm. And then these things come through at the right time, when you kind of allow yourself to kind of see. And again, you know, I'm a firm believer in, you know, we can see with no vision. Yeah. We can see with our eyes closed, you know, and it's about, you know, we can have our eyes open and look, and we're so busy looking we can't actually see. So this just allows you to kind of step back, relax, you know, get back to you, and the relationships around you will change. You know, you'll activate and switch on, and it's beautiful, and that's amazing. And we, rather than wait, we're going to do another one in February. So guys, if you would like to do the next one, then please.
Yeah, it's you know, I think Billy would say the same. Would totally recommend it. It's liberating. I got so much more out than what I thought I was going to anyway, and obviously Fee said that as well. We went into it, you know, and came out with massive grins on our faces at the end of the day. I'm feeling really relaxed, and it's not, I wouldn't say it's like a breather. It was so liberating.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'd say that as well. And it's nice, you can just be like present in the moment as well. Yeah. Like I went out the other day, I was going to go for a walk, and I picked my phone up and I thought, I don't even need this. And I put it down.
Brilliant.
And went out about it. And like on Friday, I went out for dinner, and as soon as I sat down, my phone started pinging. And usually I would have like read the notifications, maybe replied. And I was like, no, fuck, I'm just going to turn my phone off. And I actually just enjoyed, you know, the meal. And actually, I was actually like present the whole time. So yeah, 100%.
It's good, isn't it? If I've got my phone in my hand and I'm having to, you know, I get messages, I do try to reply straight away. But even as a kid, you've got to tidy your room, and I'd have to tidy my room just to get it out of the way, because I didn't want to put things off. Although as an adult, I do put things off. Tax returns, I haven't even done them yet. It's terrible. I should have done that on the detox. But it's having that phone. You feel obliged to reply, and I don't even take it out anymore. Just leave it in the drawer. And I know people say, "Oh, I'd find this really hard," or "I'm not going to be able to fit this in around work," or I know some people who, I've had, a couple of people were ill and had to cancel and whatever. One of the girls thought she'd have to take a holiday in order to do it, and I was like, no, look, if you've got time to scroll all day in between work, you've got time to just chill out in between work and do you. And so you don't have to. I mean, if you want to take a holiday and do that and do the whole meditations, and because there's some meditations provided as well, go for it. But I guess it's just about, making better use of your time. And if that use of your time is consciously laying down, chilling out, then so be it. You're present. Yeah. So you're in the moment rather than, oh my God, I've got to do this. Oh, I've got to do that. Literally just let it all go.
Yeah.
And be in the moment. And by that, having that release, things are going to come through.
Yeah, I think everyone should look. I know on Instagram you can look at your insights and look at your activity. Facebook, I don't think you get that, but I think everyone, this is the time you watch TV. Add it all up throughout your whole day, and I think you'd be absolutely, totally shocked with how long you're spending on the screen. And I know, obviously, people. This is about business side of it. So I know people use Instagram and socials for business, and that's fair enough. But this is about your own personal time that you spend online. And I think if you did add it all up, and this is not just looking at Instagram thinking, I spent, well, now I'm 45 minutes on Instagram today. This is about 3 hours in the evening you might spend watching telly and looking at your phone. So that would be double because you're doing both. And, and just, when every time you pick it up to answer a text, a message, an email, add it up, and I bet you'll be totally, embarrassed about it.
It's scary, isn't it? I think, and one of the other things that kind of spurred me to do this was the breakdown in communication with children and parents.
Yeah.
And just loved ones in general, because we especially, I can't speak for the rest of the world, so let's speak about England. The English, and sorry for this controversial, I don't think the English are very good at expressing themselves. They're kind of very stiff upper lip, hold it in, and we find it uncomfortable to really go there and talk with each other. And so that's when the kids are online, the parents are busy, and the communication is very surface level. And it's like, take it away, spend the quality time together, and you'll see what happens. But if we're online, we can't necessarily do that. And I've worked with young kids who are literally want their iPhone, and they're 3 years old, and they can't look at you. They can't give you eye contact. They can't focus. This is rich coming from Mr. ADHD over here, but I've learned to. But they struggle with focusing. And then it's okay. So they've got they're spending a lot of time on screens. They've got not a negative diet, or a lot of dead food, or not a lot of fresh produce. Their water is being infested with sugar and aspartame or whatever, and then they play up, and so then they're diagnosed. It's like, detox your child first. Let's try my way. And then you can go, detox before diagnosis. Then you can kind of take them down that route. But again, the course that I did before, we had parents on it who it was tailored for, and they were having breakthroughs, and they were working it through their children. And again, what came through was their children's symptoms of stress, anxiety, lack of concentration flipped. So this does work, but you've got to want to do it, and it's great fun. It is fun. People go, oh no, I couldn't do that. It sounds boring. Well, I'll let you guys answer that.
Well, it certainly wasn't boring. I think more people are worried about being bored, as in they'll be so bored and not have enough. What do they do with their time? Well,
decorate that room you said you was going to do the gardening, you know, look for that job, you know, go to the gym, do whatever you want to set out to do, empty that cupboard, you know, speak in tongues, do whatever you're going to do, but consciously do it in the moment and spend that time with your kids, you know. I just think we can just be on autopilot, and again, we all can, men and women, you know. But I see men at the bus stop, you know, and I've done it myself. You get anxious, so you pull your phone out as a distraction, as some people do, to look like you're busy, because you don't want to put eye contact anywhere because we're scared. So it's like thinking about these things. Okay, so you know you have your phone as a go-to, so then what are you going to do instead? And I've taken pictures on my phone, and people go, well, you've just done what you said you don't do, you know, just so I can see in a carriage, on a train, every single person on their phone. And I'm just like, no, it's just crazy, you know. It's just, you know. So I go on the train and I'm like, how are you doing? And people think I'm drunk. I'm just saying hello. I'm like, how are you doing? Mind you, if I didn't know me and I'd come up to me, I'd be like, but it's just make them conversations, you know, because everybody just wants to have connection. And I think that's why people do use social media how they do, is because they want to feel connection. But it's easier to connect with someone online in America than it is the person right next to you, and that's a problem.
Yeah.
You know, go to the person next to you and tell them you love them. You know, I said this to a member of my family yesterday, and he finds it very hard to speak to his children, but it'd be quick to kind of have a go at them. But it's like, that's fine, that's the go-to, but then rework that and remind your kids how much you love them and what they mean to you and all these kind of things. And it's, if you come offline, you can start kind of looking at these things in a bit more detail, you know.
Definitely give yourself the permission to do it as well. I think, you know, I think what you've said is totally right. People are losing eye contact. Is it an easy life, just giving your child a tablet to keep them quiet? They would so much prefer to be walking in the woods and finding sticks and doing poo sticks and that sort, you know what I mean, that sort of stuff. They might have a little tantrum before they do it, but they certainly won't be having one later on once they've done, you know. No,
and it is one of them, you know, you take it away and within 24 hours they've forgotten about it. But you know, I know 6-year-olds who've got their own TikTok accounts, and it's just, oh my God, you know. So it's just, it's awareness as well, because this is the culture and it's acceptable. We kind of forget there's other things, and I guess that's part of the mass programming, isn't it? It's to just have us there, you know, wrapped up in other people's politics, you know, getting into couch politics, going with majority and not really, or just wanting to hide and not talk too much. You know, it's just like, come on, just let it go for a bit. So, yeah, thank you guys so much, man. It's been
thank you.
An absolute pleasure.
Yeah, thank you.
So if anybody would like to find more information about the Digital Detox, I will tag Carl, obviously, in the reel, obviously, in the IGTV when I post this anyway. You won't regret it. You really won't regret it. I think, you know, I'm not shocked at how I feel about it now, but I definitely, you know, have had my eyes opened wide and will stick to all the good habits that I've formed through the week. Definitely. There's no go back. It's non-negotiable no more. That's how I feel. It's a big tick in the Sharpie.
Excellent. That's what it's all about. Happy New Year, guys.
Yeah, Happy New Year. And it's lovely to meet you as well, Billy. And we're all going to meet up, aren't we?
Yeah, you too.
Yeah,
100%. Yeah.
Absolutely. I think that's another thing really quickly, is that you are put in a focused group with people who are going through the same thing as you. And I guess it's nigh on impossible to get completely off of tech. We know this. So we do get put in a small group together, but, you know, it's not a Facebook group that becomes productive, right? But it's the way that we can communicate and support each other through our breakthroughs, our downs, our wins, our questions, and how we can kind of connect. And it is like a little bubble that's formed, and that's lovely. So you do meet people, you do connect with each other, and you do create relationships. So that's what it's about as well. So, yeah.
Thanks so much. Shall we wrap it up then?
Yeah. Thank you guys, and drop me an email.
So if anyone's interested, please give Carl a message. It's absolutely brilliant.
Next one February.
Yeah. I might come on it again. So if I'm slacking, I might come on it again.
Oh no, listen, you're more than welcome. You're more than welcome. Thank you so much, guys. God bless. Billy, thank you. Thank you, Fiona. Thank you.
Yeah. I'll see you soon. Speak later, yeah.
See ya.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.